Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings Girls game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. I'm Rick Olson and we're getting ready to bring you Colfax High School girls basketball. Tonight, the 5 and 6 Vikings, who are 2 and 2 in the Dunn St. Croix Conference, are getting ready to take on the 0 and 8 Elmwood Plum City Wolves, who are currently at 0 and 4 in the Dunn St. Croix. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's conference matchup between the Wolves and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll take a look around the Dunn St. Croix Conference to see where things stand as we resume conference play tonight. Then we'll send it out to Plum City High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls Dunn St. Croix Conference game between the Colfax Vikings and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. The Vikings are coming off an impressive 60-32 win over the St. Croix Central Panthers on Tuesday, while the Wolves are coming off a 46-19 loss to the Alma Pepin Eagles back on December 27th. In that Viking game against St. Croix Central, the Viking defense took control throughout the game, forced a lot of mistakes by St. Croix Central, and led the Vikings to victory. Now, leading the way for the Vikings in that effort was 5'7" senior guard McKenna Shipman, who hit on 8 field goals, including a three-pointer, and went 3 for 3 from the free throw line for 20 points. She was followed by 6' senior Jeanette Hajdukovic, who hit on 5 from the floor and 1 for 1 from the free throw line for 11 points. Autumn Nigaman and Jordan Bovey also contributed 7 points each. Now today the Vikings are preparing to jump right back into Dunn St. Croix Conference action as they take on the winless Elmwood Plum City Wolves. The Wolves have had a pretty rough start to the season and are coming off a 46-19 loss to the Alma Pepin Eagles back on December 27th. Now, going into the holidays, leading the way for the Wolves this season has been junior forward Haley Webb, who is shooting nearly 48% from the floor and 53% from the free throw line while averaging around 12 points per game. She's followed by freshman Allie Suave, who's putting up around 7 points per game. Now on the boards, the Wolves are being led by Webb, who's grabbing nearly 9 rebounds per game, while freshman Aurora Sapir is pulling down over 4. Now, so far this season, leading the way for the Vikings in scoring is McKenna Shipman, who is averaging over 12 points per game. She's being followed by Hajdukovic, who's accounting for over 8 points per game, along with Kaysen Goodell, who's putting in almost 8 points per game. On the boards, the Vikings are being led by Shipman with around 6 rebounds per game, while Hajdukovic grabs nearly 5.5, and Jada Anderson pulls down 4 boards. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get Viking head coach Courtney Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again on Coach's Corner, we're talking with the Viking Girls head coach, Courtney Serrar. And Coach, back on Tuesday, the Vikings claimed an impressive 60-32 win over the St. Croix Central Panthers. Your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, it took us a little bit to get going. It was our first game back, after Christmas break, and we were a little slow starting, but otherwise I was really impressed with our energy, our effort, and then once we, did finally start making shots, and it just seemed like we kind of relaxed, and lots of people were able to put the ball in the basket, which was good to see.
In fact, that relaxing might be the clue for the bugaboo that they've had all season and putting the ball in. Maybe just relax. The ball's going to go in because they do it in practice when it's a more relaxed setting. And maybe that's a good lesson to learn.
Yeah, for sure. I think, once, we started to pull away a little bit, I think then, that even showed, take the pressure off and just, make the shots that you should. So.
Now, following that game, I had several people say to me that St. Croix Central really had a hard time trying to stay competitive. But to my untrained eye, it seemed that the Panthers' difficulty were more a result of very strong defense being played by the Vikings rather than St. Croix Central's ineptitudes. Your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely, a mixture of both. I think our defense is always really good. We held them, almost under 30 points, which, is impressive for anything. They do have some pretty good inside play. They did not shoot well. But again, I'm crediting that to our, tough closeouts and just, forcing them into something that they don't want to do. I know they were, frustrated that they weren't able to run much that they wanted to or get the looks out of certain sets that they wanted to. So that was good for us.
In fact, it seemed like a lot of times your defense forced them to just fling the ball toward the basket rather than setting up and taking a shot like they'd be more used to. Their big girl overlaid layups a number of times under the basket that I would bet she normally nails regularly, and she just had a real hard time. And that was primarily like Jeanette in her face.
Yeah, we said at the start that, their offense mainly runs around those two girls. So it was important for not only the posts to play good defense, but for the guards to give them the help that they need and dig it out and make their presence known. And I thought we did a great job, putting on some ball pressure to make the passing on the inside a little bit more difficult. And we were also able to capitalize on a lot of steals that led to points for us in the fast break setting, which was good to see.
Well, tonight, the Vikings get back into Dunn St. Croix conference play as they take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, which is a team that appears to have really been struggling this season. What can you tell us about the Wolves?
Yeah, they lost a lot of really athletic seniors last year, so they're struggling to replace them. They're still kind of trying to figure out their identity and that kind of thing. But they do have a really athletic player in the web role, so we'll have to make sure that we, just keep her under control. And there's still always, things that we need to work on, and I think this is a great opportunity for us to, fine-tune some things that we've been practicing, some newer things. So I'm excited to see again it's one thing to see it against yourselves in practice, but to actually go out and do it in a game is different. So I want to, get another look at that. And, if we play well, I'm confident that we'll come out with a victory.
Now, the Wolves, it appears, you've already mentioned her, in fact, it looks like they're being led by junior forward Haley Webb. What can you tell us about her skill set and the plans to contain her?
She's really athletic. She can jump out of the gym. So we have to make sure, that whoever, is relying on her understands that, their offense runs through her. So we need to give that person the help that they need. We need to keep her off of the rebound, and just go from there. I'd much rather, dig out a layup on the inside and somebody make a tough three over a good closeout than, let her pick us apart on the inside. So.
Well, Coach Serrar, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings will get back into conference play with a good, solid win.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
We all know what it's like to feel alone. But it just takes one new connection. Want to get out of here? To empower many.
This is unbelievable.
It doesn't take a superhero to bring forces together. We all have the power to reach out.
Let's go!
And help someone feel like they belong.
Pretty cool, huh?
We are stronger together.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. Tonight, the Vikings are getting back into Dunn St. Croix Conference action as they take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Now, going into the resumption of conference play tonight, the Dunn St. Croix Conference standings are as follows. In first place with a 4-0 record are the Elk Mound Mounders. Tied for second place at 3-1 and one game back are the Durand, Arkansas Panthers and the Mondovi Buffaloes. In fourth place, 2 games behind at 2-2 are the Colfax Vikings and the Spring Valley Cardinals, while tied for sixth place at 1-3, 3 games out, are the Boyceville Bulldogs and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Meanwhile, in 8th place at 0-4 and 4 games behind the leaders are the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Now tonight, in addition to the Vikings traveling to Plum City to face the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, the Elk Mound Mounders will host the Spring Valley Cardinals, while the Boyceville Bulldogs travel to Glenwood City to face the Hilltoppers. And then we also have the Durand, Arkansas Panthers visiting the Mondovi Buffaloes. Tonight, the Vikings are getting ready to try to reopen their conference season on a positive note. The Wolves, who have been struggling to put points on the board, would really like to find a way into the winning column. The Wolves are scoring an average of 19 points per game while giving up 46. The Vikings, on the other hand, are scoring 43 points per game while giving up 38. With that said, we'll have all the action of tonight's tilt right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Plum City High School as we bring you all of tonight's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings Girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz.
Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Colfax Viking Girls basketball is on the air.
To the right side, they feed it down underneath to Hajdukovic, who lays it up and in. Jeanette Hajdukovic with 2.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN-TV, is excited to bring you Colfax High School girls basketball.
No good on the shot. Rebound taken away by Shipman and puts the shot up and in.
Join us as we follow the Vikings while they battle their way through the Dun St. Croix Conference.
To Nigaman, she launches a 3. She hit the 3!
And now out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking basketball.
Good evening and welcome to Plum City High School as we're getting ready to bring you the Colfax Vikings taking on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Rick Olson here, along with Dan Pechow. He's on my left side tonight. He's going to do his usual excellent job providing numbers and commentary. Is that what you would call a left-handed compliment?
Yeah, right. As
no, left. Okay, that's gone about as far as it can go. And Lynn Nigaman on the camera. And Dan, while we're at it, why don't you fill us in on who's playing tonight?
Yeah, here's the starters for the Elmwood Plum City. They're going to go with forward junior, number 3, Haley Webb. Guard freshman, number 4, Brittany Beckel. Sorry. Freshman, number 10, Aurora Samper. Sophomore, number 21, Willa Kripe. And sophomore, number 30, Maddie Kopp.
That's a very young lineup for the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, with the exception of Haley Webb.
Yeah, right. They only have, I think, two seniors this year. For the Vikings, they're going to go with number 4, Kason Goodell. Number 20, Meadow Keltner. Number 32, Jada Anderson. Number 40, Jeanette Hajdukovic. And number 42, McKenna Shipman.
Okay, and we're about to turn it over to the public address announcer for the starting lineups of tonight's game and the playing of the national anthem and so on. And that's all coming up in just a moment. So let's turn it over to the public address announcer at this time.
Good evening and welcome to Plum City for tonight's conference matchup between the Vikings of Colfax and your EPC Wolves. At this time, we ask that you please stand if you are able and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem. In the event of a cardiac emergency, the nearest AED is located by the main entrance. To support the efforts in creating a positive experience for all, here is Mason Clare for an announcement.
Good sportsmanship is the responsibility of all in attendance at this event. We'd like to remind everyone to cheer positively and support all athletes, coaches, officials, and spectators throughout this event. Thank you.
And now let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's game. First for the visiting Vikings. A junior, number 4, Jason Goodell. A senior, number 20, Meadow Keltner. A senior, number 32, Jada Anderson. A senior, number 40, Jeanette Hadukovic. And a senior, number 42, McKenna Shipman. The Vikings are coached by Courtney Serrar and assisted by Carly Middleton and Joe Doucette. And now, the starting lineup, your very own EPC Wolves. A junior, number 3, Haley Webb. A freshman, number 4, Brittany Beckel. A freshman, number 10, Aurora Samper. A sophomore, number 21, Willow Crape. And a sophomore, number 30, Maddie Kopp. Your Wolves are coached by Paige Sneeder and assisted by Adrian Hook and Savannah Dalloon. Tonight's officials are Jim Silk, Dan Huffman, and
So there's the starting lineups for tonight's game. Once again for the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, Haley Webb, Brittany Beckel, Aurora Samper, Willow Crape, and Maddie Kopp. For the Vikings, it's Kason Goodell, Meadow Keltner, Jada Anderson, Jeanette Hadukovic, and McKenna Shipman. Hadukovic jumping center for the Vikings, and that's against Webb. And the tip is controlled by the Wolves. Taking it down the right side, getting it back out high to Samper. She takes it down the left side of the lane, loses her footing, and the ball rolls out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. It's like she slipped as she was coming down the left side of the lane. So, Kason Goodell to bring it down the floor for the Vikings. Feeds it over to the left side to Keltner, back out high to Goodell. Goodell into the lane to Hadukovic, over to the right side to Anderson. Baseline jumper by Shipman is no good. Rebound taken down by Kripe, and they bring it down the floor. Webb on the dribble. Feeds it down into the corner to Beckel. Tries to drive the baseline and dribbled it out of bounds. That was Haley Webb, and the Vikings get the ball. Goodell on the dribble. She takes it down right into the lane, feeds it off to Hadukovic. Then over to the right side, and Anderson tried to go up with it, and we're going to get a foul as Anderson was trying. Or jump ball. And I don't know why they're giving it to the Wolves, because they controlled the opening tip. So Keltner to inbound for the Vikings. Coach Serrar was out of her seat right away on that one. She gets the ball into Hadukovic, puts it up and puts it in. Jeanette Hadukovic opens the scoring in tonight's game. 2-0 Vikings. Down the floor comes Haley Webb. Feeds it to the top of the key to Beckel. Then down into the lane underneath to Webb. She tries to put it up and got fouled as she went up. Fouls on Hadukovic. That's the first foul on anybody. First shot's up, no good. Haley Webb at the line. Second shot on the way, it's off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. Good strong rebound that time by Shipman. To Goodell. To Shipman at the free throw line. Tries to drive it down to the lane, kicks it out to the right side. Anderson with a three, no. Rebound chased down into the corner, goes out of bounds. It'll be the Wolves' ball. Webb to inbound. Vikings with some full court pressure. Webb can't find anybody. Gets it in. Anderson intercepts it. Ball gets knocked out of bounds, and they're going to say it was off of Goodell. Webb to inbound again. This time she gets it into Kripe, and then back to Webb, then back to Kripe. And Kripe dragged her pivot foot. So Keltner to inbound for the Vikings. To Goodell. Goodell out in the center circle. Over to Keltner on the right side to Hajdukovic underneath. Puts it up. She overlaid it. No good. Shipman with the rebound. She puts it in. McKenna Shipman with the putback. And Haley Webb brings it down the floor for the Wolves. She's at the top of the key. Dishes it off to Samper, and then they get it over to Kripe. Then down into the corner to Kopp. Kopp trying to dribble out of the right corner, ran into some traffic, gets it over to Beckel, and then loose ball on the floor, picked up by Goodell. Goodell down the floor, takes it down to the baseline to Shipman, turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound, chased down by Webb. She comes right back down the floor with it. And she got fouled by Shipman. Oh, check that. That was Goodell.
For her first.
Second team foul on the Vikings. 4 in, 4 out. Ball comes into Beckel. They get it out high to Samper. Comes down the left side of the lane. Loses the handle. It doesn't make it out of bounds. Finally got tapped in, but that time it hit the corner. Vikings get the ball. Jordan Bovey on the dribble. Feeds it over to J.C. Bovey. Back to Jordan. Over to the left side. And then down to Sikora. Puts the shot up a little short. And coming away with it is EPC. They get it to Webb. And then back out to the free throw line. Shots up no good. Rebound put up by Kopp. No. Samper with it. Tries to get it over onto the right side. And the ball gets knocked out of bounds by J.C. Bovey. So the Wolves will have it. Webb to inbound. Gets it into Kripe. And the pass got intercepted and...
Jump ball. Be the Wolves' ball.
Because they have the possession arrow. Webb has it down in the right corner. Gets it back out to Kripe. And then over to Samper. Takes it down the left side. Gets it back out to Kripe. She takes it to the top of the key. Loses the handle on it, and it goes out of bounds. Vikings getting their hands in there and just making slight contact and throwing the Wolves off their game.
Yeah, the Vikings do a good job at that.
J.C. Bovey out to Jordan Bovey. Then they feed it into the lane to Shipman, who lays it up and in. 6-0, Vikings on top. 14:28 to go in the first half. Coming down the left side is Webb. She gets it back out to Samper, and we're going to get a foul on
Sierra
Shipman.
Her first.
Third team foul on the Vikings. Webb looking to get it in. Gets it into Samper, then back to Webb. Out to the top of the key. Three-pointer on the way. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. Long pass down the floor to Sikora, who lays it up and in. The Vikings look like they want to do some running tonight. Webb on the dribble at the top of the key. Gets it out to Kripe. Kripe over to the right side to Samper. Samper down to the lane to the Webb, and it gets knocked out of bounds, and it went off of Webb. J.C. Bovey with a tough defense. Or check that. That was Sierra Shipman. with the tough defense there. Vikings have it. J.C. Bovey with it. Cross-court pass over to Sierra Shipman. Back out high to Jordan Bovey. To J.C. Over to Shipman. That was McKenna. Puts up the 2.
McKenna's got 6 points.
And we have a timeout on the floor with 13:24 remaining in the first half. The score, Vikings 10 and the Wolves nothing, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Dairy State Bank encourages you to save smarter for your retirement by maximizing possible tax advantages. We offer traditional, Roth, and rollover IRAs with a wide variety of investment options. It's not too late to invest up to $6,500 of possible tax-deferred earnings into an IRA for 2023 tax purposes, or $7,500 if you're 50 or better. Call or stop by for more information. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Austin and Nikki Pritchard are just what the doctor ordered. In fact, they are the doctors and they're ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
And we're back here at Plum City High School, and the Wolves have the ball. They're trailing 10-0 to the Vikings. And trouble on the full court press. Vikings get the ball. Layup is no good. Putback is up and in by Sierra Shipman. And we're going to get a foul on Jordan Bovey.
Her first.
So Webb inbounds the ball to Sam Pierre, or Crepe, check that. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. That's Bruner over there near it, but it was the Vikings who knocked it out of bounds. So Webb to inbound. They get it into Sauve. Layup goes up and in by Sauve. First 2 points of the night for the Wolves, so it's 12-2, Vikings on top. J.C. Bovey out to Jordan Bovey, over to Shipman, cross-court pass. Shot goes up, it's no good. Rebound, and it's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. J.C. Bovey to inbound. Passes it in to McKenna. Shipman puts a shot up and a foul. I believe it's going to be on Maddie Kopp. Oh, check that. It's Brittany Beckel.
Her first.
So Shipman to the line for 2. McKenna's first shot is no good. 4 in and 4 out. Well, 3 in, 3 out, and 1 waiting on Shipman's shot. Second shot is up. That one's no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Shot goes up, no good. And coming away with it are the Wolves. Webb feeds it into the lane. Shot goes up and over the backstop, out of bounds. That was Beckel on the shot.
Yeah, she took a little shot to the gut there.
Goodell brings it down the floor for the Vikings to Keltner. Back out to Goodell. Over to the right side to Anderson. To Goodell, tries to hit her cutting into the lane, did not make connection. Ball comes down the floor, laying it up and in by Sauve. Vikings on top, 12-4. Goodell with it, feeds it into the lane to Hajdukovic. Over to Anderson. Then back to Hajdukovic. Sikora saves it in. Goodell with it to Hajdukovic, and taking the ball away, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Hajdukovic on a reach-in after the ball got taken away by Beckel. She kind of got tangled up in the process and comes out. Webb with the ball. Feeds it into the lane, but the only person standing there was Anderson. She's going to take it coast to coast, puts on the brakes. Gets it to Goodell, lays it up, it doesn't go. Rebound taken down by the Wolves. That's Kopp on the rebound to Webb. She brings it up across the timeline. Ball gets stolen by Goodell. Coming down against Kopp, goes around her, puts it up and in. Nice little step through that time by Kaysen Goodell for the 2. 14-4, Vikings on top by 10. Webb on the dribble, feeds it over to Bruner. Back into the lane to Webb, tries to lay it up, doesn't get it, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. Foul's on McKenna Shipman.
Meadow Keltner.
Oh, you're right. I thought he said 42, but the 2 was the 2 for... And he heard me being confused. I'm easily confused. Free throw is up and in by Haley Webb. Into the lineup comes Ali Sauve. Second shot is up. It's also good. 14-6, Vikings up by 8. Goodell with it. 6 fouls on the Vikings so far this half. Next one puts the Wolves at the line. Pass to Shipman. She lays it up and in.
8 points for her.
Half the Viking points. 16-6, 10:20 remaining. Ball goes over to Sauve. Back out high, and it's intercepted by Goodell. She lays it up, and we're going to get a blocking foul called on Kripe. And Goodell's going to go to the line for 2. First shot on the way, off the back of the air, no good. Second shot is up. That one rattles off. So down the floor comes Haley Webb. She feeds it over to Samper. Samper down the right side of the lane. Now she backs out. Down into the corner to Kopp. Kopp kind of tied up down there. Puts it to the floor, goes into the lane. Tied up in the lane, triple teamed. And we got a whistle. And the foul's going to be on Bryn Sikora. Her first, 7th team foul. So that's putting Maddie Kopp to the line for the 1-on-1. First one's up and in. Second shot is up, and that's also in.
Her first 2 points of the night.
16-8, Vikings on top. Keltner to Goodell, turnaround jumper in the lane by Shipman. She put it in. 10 points for Shipman on the night. 18-8. Haley Webb on the dribble, takes it over to the right side, drives down to the baseline. Ball gets tipped, goes out of bounds. Last touch by Shipman, so it'll be the Wolves' ball. Into the lineup is Willow Kripe, and Haley Webb is going to take a break. Ball comes in, they get it back to Kripe. She puts a jumper up and in. 18-10. Vikings bring it down the floor. Goodell takes it down the lane, puts it up, lays it in. Kaysen Goodell with the 2.
4 points for her.
20-10, Vikings up by 10. Down to the left baseline, they get it back out to Samper. Then over to Kripe. Onto the far side to Beckel. Back over to Samper. Samper turns, tries to drive into the lane, lost control, and the Vikings come away with it. Here comes Goodell, feeds it down to Shipman, puts it up, it doesn't go. She gets the rebound, feeds it back out to Anderson. Anderson to Sikora. Now they swing it over to the left side to Shipman at the lane, no good. Coming down the floor for the Wolves is Beckel. Now they get it over to the left side to Samper and then back out to Kripe. Sauve. And they tried to feed it into the lane, but it got kicked out of bounds by the Vikings. Callie Bruner checks in. And Ali Sauve comes out. Ball comes in to Kripe. Over to Samper, top of the key. They try to get it over to Bruner, gets tipped out of bounds by Keltner. So the Wolves get it back. Samper to inbound. She gets it into Kripe. Over to Beckel on the right side. Beckel drives into the lane, lost the handle. She's down on the floor, and we're going to get an official's timeout because she got twisted up a little bit as she went down. Brittany Beckel trying to walk it off. Haley Webb coming in to replace her. She gets a nice hand from the fans. That's Beckel, got the nice hand. Willow Kripe to inbound the ball for the Wolves. Into Webb, top of the key, gets it over to Samper. Samper into Bruner, but the pass gets intercepted, and down the floor come the Vikings. Sikora, out to Anderson. Anderson drives to the lane, gets it out to the right side to Shipman. She puts up the 2. About a 10-foot jump shot.
Yeah, McKenna's getting the hot hand right now.
22-10. Wolves have it. Kripe with the ball, high, wide, and left. Over to Samper on the left side. Out to Sauve. Ball gets taken away by the Vikings, and it gets tipped loose. We're going to get a whistle, and it's going to be a foul on Kaysen Goodell. She got her arm wrapped up inside of Callie Bruner. Bruner had 2 hands on the ball, and Goodell kind of got her arm twisted in between those 2 hands. So she got called for the reaching foul. Callie Bruner at the line for the 1-on-1. First one's up, it's off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound, chased down by McKenna Shipman. Down the floor come the Vikings. Feeding it over to Sierra Shipman, back to McKenna, lays it up, and she got fouled going up. Fouls on Haley Webb. That's her first, 3rd team foul. Shipman to the line for 2. First shot's up, it's no good.
Yeah,
Dan, have the Vikings made a free throw?
They are 0 for 5 tonight.
Second shot on the way. That one rattles home. Haley Webb to bring the ball down the floor. Gets it into Sauve. Takes it down to the baseline. Puts it up, no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound. Gets it over to Jordan Bovey, coming down quickly on the right side. Feeds it underneath to JC, but it got tipped out of bounds. And they're going to say it was off the Vikings. They're going to say it was an errant pass. So the Wolves have it. Webb has it, tries to get a pass off. Finally gets it down to Samper, lays it up. It does not go in. Webb with a follow-up, no good. She tries to get their 3rd shot up, no good. And coming away with the ball is Jordan Bovey. Bovey down the floor, lays it up. It's good, and she drew the harm. Foul is on Ali Sauve. 25-10. Jordan Bovey at the line. Free throw is up. It missed all of the rim, so the Wolves get the ball out of bounds. So Haley Webb to inbound. Gets it over to Sauve, gives it right back to Webb. Webb picked up in the back court and loses the handle on it, goes out of bounds. And the Vikings have it. Jordan Bovey feeds it over to JC, back out high to Jordan. Into the lane to Hajdukovic. Back out to Jordan, steps up into the lane, puts a shot up and in.
4 points for Jordan.
And back down the floor come the Wolves. This is Sauve. Back out high to Webb. Feeds it down into the lane to Kopp. Shot's no good. And coming away with it is Bovey. That's Jordan. She gets it to JC Bovey. Out to the left side to Sierra Shipman. Puts a shot up, rattles around, and it falls off. And the ball goes out of bounds. And last touch by the Vikings. And checking in is Aurora Samper, replacing Ali Sauve. Pass comes into Kripe, gets it back, and then over to Samper. She loses control, the ball gets knocked out of bounds. It's going to be off the Vikings. So Webb to inbound, and we have another substitute coming in. Brittany Beckel. Back in after her little bit of an injury that she had a little bit ago. Ball comes in, gets knocked loose by the Vikings, picked up by Webb. Webb brings it down to the baseline, feeds it out to Kopp. Kopp down on the floor, as is Sierra Shipman. So it's a jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. And down the floor comes Jordan Bovey. Over to JC. Back out to Jordan. High lob pass into Sierra Shipman. She overlaid it. Nice looking play. She just missed the finish.
Yeah, a little bit too deep.
Webb with it. Feeds it over to the right side to Beckel. Down to Kopp. Back out to Samper. Back down to Beckel. Down along the right baseline. Pass along the baseline is intercepted by Shipman. Quickly down the floor comes McKenna Shipman. Takes it into the lane. Stops. Kicks it out. And a three-pointer by Jordan Bovey. 30-10. The Vikings are on top by 20. 4:43 remaining. Webb with it. Feeds it over to the left side. That's Beckel. Beckel to Kopp in the lane, turns around, puts it up, and it rattles in. 30-12. Sierra Shipman into the lane to Hajdukovic. Hook shot goes up and in.
4 points for Jeanette.
32-12. Vikings by 20. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining. Webb feeds it down to the left side of the lane to Samper. Back out to Webb from the top of the key. She hit the three. Haley Webb with a three-pointer.
Yeah, good shot there.
Jordan Bovey gets it over to Sierra Shipman. Back out to Jordan, to Sierra, to McKenna Shipman. Lays it up off the air, no good. Hajdukovic with the putback. She gets it, and she got fouled. Foul's on Aurora Samper.
Her first. So
Jeanette Hajdukovic at the line for the +1. And it's off the front of the iron, no good. I'll tell you what, Dan, this is not a good free throw shooting night for the Vikings.
Yeah, I don't even know what we are anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 for 8.
That's 12%, 12.5%. So Beckel with the ball on the right side for the Wolves. Ball gets tipped out of bounds by Keltner. So Webb will inbound it. Webb gets it in to Kripe. Kripe over to Samper. Down to Webb along the baseline on the right side. Ball gets knocked loose, picked up by Kopp, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Anderson. Flips the ball over to Goodell, and she brings it down the floor. Kaysen Goodell on the right side, down to the baseline. Turns around, looking for somewhere to go. Gets it out to Keltner, to Hajdukovic, back out to Goodell. Goodell with a three-pointer, she hit it. Kaysen Goodell with a three-pointer.
Yeah, good ball movement by Colfax.
37-15. This is one of the things I think that Coach Serrar was talking about in Coach's Corner, about a chance to work on some things. That ball movement is a little bit different wrinkle this time around. Down along the baseline, shot goes up by Beckel, and she got fouled.
That'll be Kaysen's third foul.
And the first shot is up and nothing but net. 37-16. Jordan Bovey into the lineup for Kaysen Goodell. Second shot on the way. That one missed everything, so it'll be Viking ball. Checking in is Ali Sauve, giving Beckel a break, and also checking in is Maddie Kopp, and out steps Haley Webb. Jordan Bovey brings the ball down the floor. Feeds it into the lane to Hajdukovic, out to Anderson on the right side, to Goodell, back to Hajdukovic. Gets it out to Keltner, three-pointer on the way, missed the iron, but taken by Anderson, who lays it up and in.
First 2 points for Jada tonight.
And down the floor come the Wolves. And the pass gets stolen by Sikora, takes it into the lane, pulls up, she hits it. Bryn Sikora with the two.
She has 4 points.
41-16, Vikings on top. Taking it down on the left side, feeding it into the lane to Kopp, puts the hook shot up and in.
6 points for her.
Hajdukovic puts a jumper up from the free throw line, no good. Rebound, tied up, jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Wolves. Haley Webb checking in. Aurora Sampier comes out. Webb across the timeline. Feeds it into the lane to Kopp. Back out to Sauve. And then down the baseline, tipped out of bounds by the Vikings. Minute 20 to go in the first half. Ball comes in towards Kopp. She can't handle it, but Webb picks it up. Rebound on the shot is taken down by the Vikings. Sikora got the rebound. Got it to Keltner. Keltner feeds it over to the left side to Jordan Bovey. Back out high to Keltner. To Bovey. Pass into the lane to Sikora. Shot is no good. Rebound. Hajdukovic saves it in. Sikora gets it over to Keltner. To Bovey. Under a minute. To Hajdukovic at the right elbow. Out to Bovey. Puts up a three. Around the iron and out. Rebound. Taken down by Kopp. She gets it to Webb. Webb feeds it over to the left side to Suave, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. Fouls on Meadow Keltner.
Her second.
And that's the 10th foul on the Vikings, so Suave is at the line for 2. First shot is up. It's good. Second shot up, and it's no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings, and Bovey on the dribble. This is Jordan. 41-19. That was the final score in the JV game with the Vikings coming out on top. Bovey has it out between the circles. Over to the right side to Anderson, back to Bovey.
He'll play for 1.
To Keltner, back out to Bovey, 9 seconds. To Anderson, to Keltner, three-pointer on the way off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound chased down by Bovey, puts up the shot, no, and that's halftime. So at halftime, it's Vikings 41 and the Wolves 19. Coming up, we have Viking halftime. And our Viking profile today will be Kason Godell, and that's coming up right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Kason Godell, who's a junior here at Colfax High School. And Kason, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Yes, I am in the cross-country team and the track team.
And how'd cross country go for you this year?
Really great. I went to state, and that was an amazing opportunity.
That's terrific. So when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been for you?
I started playing in second grade, and I've always loved it and had good support with it and everything like that.
And so what's the most important thing you've learned playing basketball?
Teammates are like a huge part of it. You can't do it alone, and coaching is very important.
Okay, so when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I go hunting and fishing a lot and hang out with friends and just being outside and out in the outdoors.
Okay, you know these are coming. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
Which flavor?
Chocolate.
It's a good standard, isn't it? All right. Hot dog, burger, or brat?
Hot dog.
And what do you want on that hot dog?
Just ketchup.
Just ketchup, okay. Your favorite color?
Probably green.
Is there a reason for that?
No.
Okay, just like green.
Yep.
All right, that's fine. If you could have a superpower, what do you think that would be and why?
Invisibility, just because nobody could see you. You can go out and steal the ball from somebody, nobody would know.
Oh, you're even bringing it into your game.
Yep.
All right. So if you have that superpower of invisibility, you need to, of course, have a superhero name to go with it. What's Kaysen's superhero name?
I don't know, Invisible Kaysen.
Okay, we'll go with that. All right. Your favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Probably the Bucks.
All right, how about a favorite collegiate team?
UConn or Iowa.
All right. Is there a basketball player in your past, whether it's somebody local or maybe even a pro player, who's affected the way you play your game?
Probably all the high school girls that I've watched when I was little. They really kept me into it and saw what I could become.
And it is quite a tradition here at Colfax girls basketball.
Yeah, it is.
So you've had a lot of role models to follow.
Yeah, I have.
All right, we're talking with Kaysen Goodell on Viking Profile. And Kaysen, what are your plans for after high school?
I am looking at going to River Falls for an agriculture degree.
Very good. How about a shout out to the family?
Hi, Mom and Dad and Grandpa and Grandma.
All right, and when people come to watch Viking games, what number do you wear and where are you going to be found on the court?
I wear number 4 and I'm a point guard or a shooting guard.
We want to thank Kaysen Goodell for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. Basically, he had to relearn everything. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
Welcome back to Plum City High School. Rick Olson here along with Dan Petchow, Lynn Nigaman on the camera. And the Vikings have a 41-19 lead at halftime. Dan, why don't you tell us how we got to those scores?
Here's the scores right now for the EPC Wolves. They're led by number 30, Maddie Kopp. She has 6. We have Willow Kripe with 2. Ellie Save with 5. Haley Webb with 5. And Brittany Beckel with 1. For the Vikings, they're led right now by number 42, McKenna Shipman. She has 14 points. Then we have Jeanette Hajdukovic with 6. Bryn Sikora with 4. Jada Anderson with 2. Sierra Shipman with 2. Jordan Bovey with 7. And Kason Goodell with 7. 41-19, Vikings lead.
Okay. So the Vikings have the lead. Same score as I mentioned earlier as the final score of the JV game. Vikings won that one by a score of 41-19. And as we get ready for the start of the second half, Vikings will have the ball. And we'll take a quick timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Back here at Plum City High School, getting ready to start the second half. Vikings will have the ball to get things started. Regular starters out there for the Vikings. Keltner to inbound it to Goodell. Goodell's the only one in any foul trouble for the Vikings. She has 3. I think that's true. She's the only one.
Yep.
So the Vikings have it. They get it out between the circles to Anderson. Anderson comes down the right side of the lane, out to Keltner. 3-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound, chased down by the Vikings. They get it into Hajdukovic, and we're going to get a whistle on the floor. There's a foul.
We had a foul on number 10.
Aurora Sampere.
Her second.
With her second. First team foul on the Wolves. Shipman gets the ball, puts it up, and
McKenna's going to get the foul.
Rebound controlled by the Wolves, which is why McKenna got the foul. Haley Webb on the drive, right through the center circle. Takes it over to the right side, and a whistle and a foul on Keltner.
Should be her third.
I was going to say, I think that's her third, isn't it?
Yeah, she's got to learn to move her feet a little bit. She's kind of reached instead of following.
Haley Webb to inbound. Feeds it into Sampere. Back out to Webb at the top of the key. Webb over to Kripe. Kripe loses the handle, and the Vikings pick it up. McKenna Shipman through the center circle, quickly down the right side of the lane, drives to the hole, puts it up, it goes in, and she drew the harm. And the foul's on Haley Webb. It's her second. Shipman's shot is up, it's good.
Hey,
well, maybe that's a start of a new trend in the second half here for Viking free throw shooting.
That's the only second one made today.
Kripe has it, gets it over to Kopp in the right corner. She drives the baseline, ball gets tipped out of bounds by Hajdukovic. Webb to inbound. Gets it in to Kripe, puts up a shot partially blocked, rebound taken down by Webb, and now the rebound is chased down by Sampere and then stolen away by Goodell. Goodell brings it down the floor, stops at the top of the key, takes it to the free throw line, puts up a jumper off the glass and in. And we have a timeout on the floor with the score, Vikings 46, Wolves 19. You're watching Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds?
Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining?
Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Doctors Austin and Nikki Pritchard and their staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
Again, we're back here in Plum City. Tonight's home for the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. They play some of their games in Elmwood, some of them in Plum City. Tonight we're in Plum City. Beckel has the ball, gets it over to Kripe for the Wolves. Kripe feeds it to Beckel in the lane. Tries to get it over to Samper, but it got knocked away by the Vikings, and Goodell comes down the floor. Cross-court pass intended for Shipman, a little bit out of her reach. So the Wolves have it. And they bring it down the floor. Webb on the dribble. Tries to feed it into the lane. Shipman takes it away down the floor, lays it up. It's going to be good. And a foul at the same time. And the foul is on Willow Kripe. That's her second. Third team foul on the Wolves. Shipman at the line for the +1, and she gets it. 49-19, Vikings by 30. Kripe brings the ball down the floor. Over to the left side. Then it's over to Samper. Samper takes it into the lane, goes down to her knees. Her calf gave out. And down the floor come the Vikings. They lay it up. No! Hajdukovic got the rebound, but it got knocked out of bounds. And Samper is coming out. I think she got Charlie horse or something.
Pickle juice, Rick.
Yeah, pickle juice. Ball comes into Goodell, into Hajdukovic, and over to Shipman, who puts it in.
22 points for her tonight.
Haley Webb on the dribble on the left side, feeds it over to the right side. That's Bruner. High, wide, and right. Down into the lane, intended for Beckel, gets knocked away, picked up by Kripe. Over to the left side to Kopp, and she tries to drive into the lane. We're going to get a foul called on Keltner. That's 4 on her. Vikings have 4 and 4 out. $15-12 remaining. 51-19, Vikings on top. Webb to inbound. She gets it in. It was intended for Beckel and went right through her hands and out of bounds. So now it's Viking ball. Shipman over to Jordan Bovey. Bovey over to Sierra Shipman. Back out to Jordan, to McKenna Shipman from the elbow. No. And the rebound comes down to Kripe. Kripe long pass to Beckel. From the baseline, tries to put it up, and we're going to get a foul called on J.C. Bovey. That'll be her first, 4th team foul on the Vikings. At the line shooting 2 is Brittany Beckel. First shot's up, and it's good. Bounced it off the square and right through the hoop. Yeah, I'm surprised more people don't use the square. It's just a matter of geometry and physics. Second shot, a high arcing shot, just catches the rim and no good, so the Vikings come away with it. Bovey tries to drive around the corner of Beckel, and Beckel kind of got in the way.
Should be her second.
And it's the 4th team foul. J.C. Bovey to inbound. Over to Jordan Bovey. Back to J.C. Back over to Jordan. To Sierra Shipman, to McKenna. Feeds it off, and in the hole is J.C. Bovey, and she got fouled on the way up.
That was on 30.
Maddie Kopp with the foul. It's her first 15 foul, and the +1 for J.C. Bovey. Down the floor comes Webb over on the left side. Fades it over to Kripe. Kripe then to Bruner on the right side. To Beckel. On the right wing, back out high to Bruner. Cross-court pass over to Webb on the left. Tipped around, finally back over into the right corner. Webb has it. Then out to Bruner, three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound, chased around, down on the floor. We're going to get a jump ball. And it's going to be the EPC Wolves with the possession arrow. Webb with it, looking for somewhere to go. And we're going to get a 5-second violation called against the Wolves. Webb couldn't find anybody to get it to. Into the lineup calls Ali Sauve. Replacing Beckel. Jordan Bovey gets it over to Sierra Shipman, and then she tries to feed it down underneath to Sikora. It got tipped out of bounds by the Wolves, so the Vikings have it. J.C. Bovey to inbound. To McKenna Shipman on the right wing. Cross-court pass to Jordan Bovey. Back over to the right side to J.C. Bovey. Launches a three. No! Rebound, battled for. McKenna Shipman tries to put it up, and it was partially blocked by Webb, and it went out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. J.C. Bovey feeds it into Sikora, and she fed it underneath to Shipman. Ball got knocked out of bounds by the Wolves. 54-20. Vikings on top. They feed it in to Sikora. She's in the lane, and we're going to get a jump ball called. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. J.C. Bovey again to inbound. Gets it over to Sierra Shipman, puts up a three, no. Rebound, chased down by Sierra, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Wolves. Coming into the lineup for the Wolves is Ali Sauve. Callie Bruner takes a seat. Oh no, that wasn't Callie Bruner that went out. Because she's got the ball right now on the right wing. Back out high to Sauve. Down into the corner to Webb on the left side. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound tipped around, picked up by the Wolves, and we're going to get a foul. And the foul is going to be on J.C. Bovey. That's her second. 15 foul.
Her second.
Kopp with it. Gets it to Webb. Turnaround jumpers, no good. Rebound taken down by Sierra Shipman. Feeds it down to J.C. Bovey. Bovey puts on the brakes, spins, puts it up, no good. Rebound, put back attempt by Sierra Shipman. She got fouled. So the foul is on Willow Kripe.
Could be her third.
And it's going to put Sierra Shipman at the line for two. First one's up and good. Horace Ampere into the game. Second shot is up off the back of the air, no good. Webb with the rebound, and down the floor she comes. Taking it over to the left side. Sauve with it. It gets it out to Sampere. Then out high to Bruner, over to Webb on the right side. Webb down onto the right baseline to Bruner. Bruner trying to come into the lane, turns around, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Sierra Shipman driving down the left side of the lane, kicks it out to McKenna Shipman, who puts in the three.
Sister to sister there, good play.
That's the family connection. 58-20, Vikings on top. Bruner with it. Feeds it to Webb. Back out to Bruner. Free throw line extended to the right. Over to Kopp, out at the top of the key, over to the right side to Bruner. Bruner feeds it to Kopp down along the baseline, gets tipped out of bounds off of Sikora. And we have 4 in and 4 out for the Vikings. Meadow Keltner's back in with 4 fouls on her. Just a second longer than 12 minutes to go. Webb looking to inbound it. Gets it in to Sauve, and Sauve loses the handle on it, but that was aided by the Vikings. So it'll be EPC ball. Webb to inbound. Feeds it into Sauve. Sauve drives the left baseline, puts it up behind the backboard, and taken down by Hajdukovic. Down to Goodell. Goodell looking to shoot, doesn't. To Keltner, puts up the 3. She hit the 3! Meadow Keltner with a 3.
Her first 3 points of the night.
Webb with the ball at the top of the key. Hands it off to Samper. Over to the right side. That's Speckel. Into the lane to Kopp. Puts it up, no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound. To Goodell. She comes across the timeline. Goodell takes it into the lane, and she ran into some traffic. And we're going to get a foul on Kopp.
To be her second.
7th team foul. So that's going to put Case and Goodell at the line for the 1-and-1. First shot by Goodell. It's good. (62-20). We're just a couple minutes away from running time. Second shot on the way, and it rattles home. 63-20.
They're 5 for 6 for free throws in the second half.
It's a complete reversal. Must be that we're going towards that end of the gym. So the Wolves have it. Pass down towards the inside to Beckel is intercepted by the Vikings. Sikora with it. At the free throw line. Pulls up and puts it in. Bryn Sikora with 2 more.
6 points for her.
65-20. They get it over to Beckel. Then into the lane to Kopp. Hook shot is up, no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound for the Vikings, and here comes Goodell down the floor. She's at the top of the key. Feeds it over to the right side to Anderson. Anderson to Sikora, puts up 2 from 10.
She's got the
and we have a timeout on the floor with the score. Vikings 67, Wolves 20. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Let Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comroe provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
Dairy State Bank encourages you to save smarter for your retirement by maximizing possible tax advantages. We offer traditional, Roth, and rollover IRAs with a wide variety of investment options. It's not too late to invest up to $6,500 of possible tax-deferred earnings into an IRA for 2023 tax purposes, or $7,500 if you're 50 or better. Call or stop by for more information. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Back here at Plum City, the Wolves with the ball. It's Bruner with it, down into the corner to Webb, back out to Bruner. to the top of the key to Sauve. Then they try to feed it down into the lane to Kopp, and it gets taken away by Keltner. Keltner almost lost the handle, but she regained it. Goodell with the ball between the circles. Over to Keltner on the right side. Takes it down into the corner. Back out to Goodell. Cross court pass to Anderson. Lob pass that she took and put in the hole.
4 points for her tonight.
69 to 20. That was a nice looking pass to Anderson to lay it up and in. Wolves driving toward the baseline. The ball gets taken away by the Vikings, and we're going to get it tied up between Sikora and Bruner, and possession arrow is in favor of the Wolves. Webb to inbound it. She's going to send it into Kripe. Back to Webb. Webb between the circles. She takes it over to the left side. Pass goes out of control, and the Vikings pick it up. They get it down to Anderson, but taken away down there by Kripe. And Kripe brings it back down the floor for the Wolves. To Kopp. Into the lane, back out to Bruner, three-pointer off the back of the iron, no good. Keltner with the rebound. She feeds it over to Goodell. Then to Hajdukovic, back over to Keltner, to Goodell.
They can run a little clock if they want to.
And the pass down underneath, shot goes up and in by Sikora. 71 to 20.
10 points for Sikora.
In this half, the score is 30 to 1. Wolves have it down in the left corner. Now they get it out on the left wing to Webb at the top of the key. And it's over to Maxwell. Now they feed it down underneath to Kopp. Back out high to Bruner. Then over to, that's Kopp with it in the lane. And now Kripe and then Bruner. Back out high to Webb. Webb to the free throw line to Bruner. Bruner over onto the right side to Maxwell. Maxwell over to Kopp. And into the lane to Bruner. Her shot gets blocked and taken away by Goodell. Goodell drives into the lane, puts it up, no. Hajdukovic with the putback, no. She gets her own rebound, kicks it out to Anderson, puts up the three, no. Rebound taken down by Keltner. Driving into the lane is Sikora, she puts it up and in.
12 points for Sikora.
And we are in running time. We have 5 in and 5 out for the Vikings. And a bunch also for the Wolves. Players out there for the Vikings right now, we have Jordan Bovey, McKenna Shipman, Meadow Keltner, JC Bovey, and Sierra Shipman. Kripe has it down in the corner, pass into the lane, goes between the legs of Beckel, and the Vikings come away with it. Jordan Bovey on the dribble. Feeds it over to the right side, back out high to Bovey. Over to Keltner, high, wide, and right to Shipman at the top of the key. Feeds it down low to Sierra Shipman, and she got fouled going up with it.
Foul should be at number 4.
That's Brittany Beckel.
Her third.
8th team foul on the Wolves. Free throw is up and no good by Sikora. Or not Sikora, but by Sierra Shipman. Second shot on the way. It's good, or no good, I mean. Rebound gets knocked out of bounds. Last touch by McKenna Shipman. So the Wolves have it. Samper to inbound. She gets it into Sauve. Sauve feeds it down underneath. A little bit too high for Kopp, and coming away with it is Sierra Shipman. Shipman stops at the top of the key, launches the three. No. Rebound, it goes out of bounds. It'll be the Wolves' ball. And some other players coming in for the Vikings. We have Leila Hurlbert, Clara Hajdukovic, and Jennifer Maves are all in the lineup. Ball goes over to Fessenmeyer for the Wolves. And we get a jump ball as J.C. Bovey tied up Samper. Bovey brings the ball down the floor. Over to Maves on the left side, back to Bovey. Over to the right side, and then they kick it back out high to J.C. Bovey, takes it into the lane, lays it up, it does not go. And Clara Hajdukovic tried to get the rebound, but it was knocked out of bounds by the Wolves, and it will be Viking ball. Sierra Shipman to inbound it, gets it into Clara, puts it up, no! Rebound gets saved inbounds, but right into the hand of Sauve, who takes it down to the baseline for the Wolves, puts it up. It's no good. We have a whistle and a foul. And the foul's on Hajdukovic. This is Clara Hajdukovic. Oh, check that. That was no, it was Jennifer Maves. Shot is up. It's no good. It was 54, he signaled, not 44.
5 points for Savi tonight.
Second shot is up. It's also no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound. Gets it over to Shipman. Sierra brings the ball down the floor, feeds it over to Bovey on the right side. Gets it to Hajdukovic at the elbow, down underneath. The Hurlbert puts it up and in. Layla Hurlbert with her two. 3:13 remaining. 75-20, Vikings on top. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball.
Got 9 girls for Colfax with points tonight so far.
How many did you say?
9.
Oh, nice balanced scoring that way. Bovey with it. Gets it to Maves. Hajdukovic turns around, puts it up. It does not go. Rebound. Taken down by Shipman. And the shot is in. Layla Hurlbert hits the three.
Yeah, she's got the hot hand right now.
Down the floor comes Sauve. Over on the left side of the lane. Now she backs out to Callie Bruner. Over to the right side. Down underneath the Samper. Her shot's blocked, and the Vikings come away with it. Shipman with it, across the timeline, over to the left side. Three-pointer goes in by Jennifer Maves. Her first points of the season.
10 girls with points now for Colfax.
The Wolves feed it over onto the left side. 2 minutes to go. Sauve with it, takes it to the elbow, kicks it back out high to Bruner. Then the ball goes to Fessenmeyer. Whistle. As Maxwell got tied up, and we're going to say it's a foul on Shipman.
Be her second.
It's going to put Ellie Maxwell to the line. First shot is up, no good. Rebound taken down by Maves. And down the floor come the Vikings. Bovey on the dribble. 81-20, Vikings on top. Maves with it, feeds it underneath. They give it to Hajdukovic, puts it up. No, it won't go. Vikings are really trying to get Hajdukovic her points. And the shot goes up and in by Sauve.
She has 7 points.
1 minute remaining. 81-22. And they feed it down underneath to Hajdukovic. Ball scramble for on the floor. And it's a jump ball with the possession arrow in favor of the Wolves. Bruner to inbound it. Gets it into Sauve. 30 seconds remaining in the game. They get it over to Ingley. Back out high to Sauve. Sauve drives to the baseline. Feeds it out to Ingley. Ingley puts it up. She hit it. 2-pointer. She was right near the line, but just over it. 81-24. Vikings gonna just let the clock run out. 1 second, and it's all done. Final score of tonight's game, Vikings 81. The Elmwood Plum City Wolves 24. And we'll be back with a good wrap-up of this game right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If you've been admiring the freshly groomed look of a baseball field, or the stunning appearance of a golf course, remember you too can have along with the same beauty by simply calling Midwest Environmental Consultants. Their professional lawn care experts can bring your lawn to its full beauty and appearance. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your lawn the showplace of the neighborhood.
Spring is on its way, and the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV are excited to once again be your home for Colfax High School baseball.
Yeah.
Join us as we follow the Colfax Vikings as they battle their way through the Dunn St. Croix Conference. We'll carry Viking home games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
I feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Girls basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game.
Is it time yet?
It's time.
Mom's starting time for dinner.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Time now for Viking Postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking Postgame.
And we're back here at Plum City High School, where the Vikings have come out on top by a final score of 81-24 over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. And it was a pretty dominant performance by the Vikings in this one. I see Coach Serrar out on the gym floor, so I think she's going to be coming up before we get Dan with the numbers. And so hopefully she's on her way up here right about, well, any moment. She's hoping to get stuff packed up on the bench right now. So, but an interesting point is the Vikings with a second half performance of 40-5.
Yeah, it was an all defense show by Colfax tonight. Got every turnover they needed. Got one and dones on the board on defense, and that was the big part of this game is turnovers by Elmwood Plum City.
And again, similar to the game against St. Croix Central, the inability of the opponent to handle the ball in the forecourt is not so much that the opponents can't handle the ball, it's the Vikings getting fingertips on the ball, or just a little bit, just knocking the ball off its path, just enough, and all of a sudden that adjustment they're having a hard time making. And so give the Viking defense the credit for this one.
Yeah, and I thought on offense, the girls did a really good job rotating that ball, finding the open person, and getting those open looks. And when you can get the defense back on their heels and kind of chasing, there's going to be open shots, and they made them when they had to, especially in the second half.
Well, I'm not sure when... I keep looking down there expecting Coach Serrar or Coach Kittleson, as far as that goes, either one of them to come up and talk with us. And we'll see when one of them will be coming up. Here comes Coach Serrar. I see her coming. All right. Coach Serrar, first of all, congratulations on the 81-24 victory tonight. Pretty impressive defensive performance by your girls.
Yeah, I thought, first half we were pretty average defensively, but second half we were really good. I challenged them at halftime to just, we weren't communicating very well, and it just seemed like, we were relaxing when we shouldn't relax, but they were much better second half.
To put some numbers on that, second half the Vikings outplayed the Wolves 40-5, and there's some pretty serious second half defense going on when that happens.
Yeah, for sure. I challenged them, like I said, in the locker room at halftime, I thought we had to be better defensively, and we were. So, every time we step on the floor, we're trying to get better, and, I don't like to play down to other people's levels, and so I just wanted them to continue to get better, and I thought we did.
And we talked about this a little bit in the pregame show, because it was somewhat similar to the St. Croix Central game in that the inability of EPC to handle the ball on their end of the floor was not so much of their lack of ability, but your girls getting fingers on the ball and just getting in the way and making passes difficult to complete, and all of a sudden turnovers happened and the Vikings went down and scored.
Yeah, for sure. I thought we did a good job, like you said, capitalizing on transition. I wish we would have made a few more layups, but overall I was really happy with our performance.
One of the things we've talked about all season is sometimes the ball goes in and sometimes it doesn't. We had a great example of that today between the two halves. In the first half, Dan, what was the shooting at the free throw line for the Vikings?
1 for 8. It was really bad.
Yeah, 1 for something.
But then what, like 5 for 6 in the second half? And and I said, well, maybe it's they're shooting at the other end. I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason to this crazy game that we like.
Yeah, for sure. They just had to take that extra, half second and focus on the target, and I thought second half we did a better job.
Well, congratulations. And then Saturday we get to do a matinee down at Blair Taylor. You know anything about them yet?
They're a really good program who was, second in the state last year in Division 5, so we'll definitely have to come ready to play.
Okay, well, congratulations. Thank you for joining us today on Viking Post Game, and we'll be back with all the numbers from tonight's game right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV is excited to once again be your host for Colfax High School girls basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season. Our next game will be on Saturday, January 6th, when the Vikings will travel to Blair Taylor High School to take on the Blair Taylor Wildcats. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking pregame at 2 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 on Saturday, January 6th.
Back here at Plum City High School, Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow. Lynn Nigaman has been doing the great job on the camera tonight. And Dan, Vikings win at 81-24. Why don't you tell us how we got there?
Yeah, here's the scores for the Elmwood Plum City Wolves tonight. They're led by number 14, Ali Savi with 7. Then we had Maddie Kopp with 6. Haley Webb with 5. Brittany Beckel with 2. And Ada Ingley with 2 for the Colfax Vikings. This might take me a minute because we had 11 girls with points tonight. Our leader was number 42, McKenna Shipman. She had 25 points. And then we'll just go down the list. So Kason Goodell had 10. JC Bovey had 4. Meadow Keltner had 3. Jordan Bovey had 7. We had Sierra Shipman with 3 points. We had Jada Anderson with 4. Jada Anderson. Then we had Bryn Sikora. She had 12. Then we had Jeanette Hajdukovic with 6. We had Leola Herbert with 5. And Jennifer Mays had 3.
And that comes out to 81-24. Again, an outstanding defensive performance by the Vikings today, and they've got to bring it all back with them on Saturday when we're going to be down in Blair Taylor for that one.
Yeah, they got to. That's a little bit of a break. They can rest up tomorrow and get ready for Saturday.
And then there's some sanity in the schedule after that. Otherwise, it's been pretty hectic. But yeah, we'll get sanity back in it. Hey, don't forget that that's not it for basketball, because join us on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 tomorrow as the Viking boys will take on the Elk Mound Mounders in a Dunn St. Croix matchup. Viking pregame begins at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's Viking boys basketball tomorrow night on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2. And as we were mentioning, don't forget to join us here on NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network on Saturday as the Viking girls travel to Blair Taylor High School to take on the Blair Taylor Wildcats. That's a non-conference matchup. Live coverage will begin with Viking pregame beginning at 2 o'clock, and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax girls basketball on Saturday, January 6th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Hey, the Colfax Music Department is once again participating in the Dorian Vocal Music Festival. That's running from this Sunday through Wednesday down in Iowa. So the Colfax Music Department will be well represented down there. Don't forget that tonight's Colfax Viking Girls basketball game is brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Doctors Austin and Nikki Pritchard and their friendly staff take care of your pet. C&K Construction, your concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. So, for Dan Petchow, giving us all the numbers in his expert commentary, and Lynn Nigaman on the camera today, this is Rick Olson. That final score, once again, Vikings 81 and the EPC Wolves 24. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.